How does your hair help you express your personality to the world?
Okay, so me, I'm a very talkative, extroverted person. I like to talk to people. So I feel like with me, I tend to wear my afro out a lot. It's winter, guys, so protective hairstyle is a necessity. But let's say outside of that, summer, spring, I tend to wear my afro out a lot. And I think that just wearing an afro out, especially in the 21st century, is just a bold statement. I know a lot of media, even news or other things tend to depict that as a bold, loud statement. So for me to sit out here and wear my afro out and show the world my afro, I think that just shows my bold and extroverted, personality.
To give context, my hair started off as an act of defiance. I know it may sound political, and all that, but I really was a political stunt for me towards my family, towards growing up. I grew up, I believe this was around grade 4 or 5. I was in a private Christian school. Very hard, old school, apostolic type scenery, and I had to get my hair cut every week. If I couldn't get it cut, the principal would bring in barbers in. But as much as it did teach me a lot, it also taught me that, like I said, be comfortable with who you are. Know who you are and stand for who you are. And once I left that institution, I realized, why am I trying to conform to an image that's not me?
Going back on the hair is a form of expression. It's also a form of creativity. Mm-hmm. So I remember seeing this one video where older woman, she was able to do a palm tree with her hair, and I was like, wow, that gives island vibes and all of that. I say it's a form of expression. I use curls to show who I am.
My personality is loud, outgoing, and I just love to talk and I love to be out there. And recently with dyeing my hair, changing the color, having it so big, I feel like people can see that that's who I am. And that's who I will always be for the rest of my life. My hair, it says it before I can say it.
When I play basketball, I'm the only person on the team with braids, so it helps me express who I am, People are gonna be like, oh yeah, it's only kid on the team with braids, so they know who I am. So I help me express myself by having a unique style and not being like everyone else. So one thing I like to do when I get my braids, to separate from everyone else, I get it so I part it in a zigzag way, and that's something I'm really confident about. And I really like that because express it's really different. I feel like that's just something that makes me who I am.
For context, I didn't always wear a headscarf. So when I did wear my headscarf, I wore box braids a lot. And I specifically remember a moment in grade 10, I had these red hot fiery braids with black and yellow and a bunch of array of colors. And that was specifically because I was into a specific show at the time and a character had similar hair. And so I found that...
What was the show?
It was Demon Slayer. Yes. It was Rengoku, if anyone watched the anime. But I found that expressing myself through my hair was an integral part of who I was, and it just was a creative outlet. Some people, they like to draw, they like to paint, they like to create music. For me, it was through my hairstyles.
I see my hair as an impact, as I was saying before. When you look at society today, especially with the field that I want to go into, because I want to go into politics, you don't see a lot of representation, especially with Black women. And also, again, hair-wise, people straighten their hair a lot. But, I always made a promise to myself that I can be impactful in my natural hair and I can be impactful in my braids and such. So honestly, my hair shows the impact that I can make within the community.
Honestly, my hair is me. My hair is my identity. So much of us young boys growing up, our parents were the ones doing our hair. Our parents are the ones cutting us bald. Mm-hmm. Them choosing our identity. Yeah, oppression. But as I grew older, it was more, I wanted to express myself in a different way. It was always I don't want to be controlled. I'm not saying in a negative way, my parents were controlling me, but I wanted it in a way to where I was expressing myself, who I am, not who my parents wanted me to be, but who I am and who I want the world to see, or how I want the world to see me. And honestly, when I started growing out my hair, first it started with waves. So, the wave movement, 360, 720 waves. And it was cool, just expressing myself with waves, taking the time. And I feel like when you wake up, the first thing you do, you look at yourself in the mirror, and I feel like if you don't like your hair, that can just ruin your whole mentality, if you feel like you don't look good, then you're gonna go out into the road saying, oh, I don't look good, I don't feel good, you know? But I feel like for me personally, when I took control of my hair and I started expressing myself, I became more happy, you know? Just having the furrow growing out my hair, being able to try different styles, and just connecting back to, you know, my roots, you know, the culture. Because nowadays, people do hair for the styles and everything, and I do it too for the styles. I'm not gonna lie, I do it for the styles as well. But there's a deeper meaning to that hair, and I feel like my hair, the way it expresses myself, it's like a question starter, you know, it's like a breaking the ice,
Right.
you know? It's like, oh, I like your braids, like what inspired you to get that, you know?
Right.
So I feel like my hair, it's just me, it just lets me express myself.
My mom growing up used to always say when I wanted to straighten it or flat iron it and do all that stuff, she says, when my hair is natural and it's as big as it wants to be, she says, your hair is extraordinary. You don't want to be ordinary like everybody else. You want to be extraordinary. So with that, my hair kind of does that for me and it allows me to be extraordinary.
That's the most important thing to me, to be honest, having something like unique to me, you know, because I could get dreads and I can get braids and I can get but I don't see people like do the hairstyles that I have with going to the side. So I think it's really important that people understand like braids are used for, or just black hair in general is used to express yourself dearly. It's used to, you know, show who you are to the world and your personality and unique to you.
It's a part of my character. Like sometimes I'm rough. Yeah. You know, until I get myself together and I'm polished. Exactly. So I feel like my hair is just an extension of me.